There we go. Alright, we are live on both.
YouTube also? Cool.
YouTube and Facebook. We are live. So this is new for us today. We are mixing it up. I am your host, Nick Johnson. We have
Dylan Delgado.
And
Coach Michael.
yeah, so we actually have a bunch of new people that are subscribers and followers, so thank you for that. Hit that like, follow, sub, depending on which one you are. I am a brown belt under Michael Stratton, started back in 2014. Dylan, what is your background?
I'm a blue belt. Been training about 5 years under Nick Johnson. And
Crazy, right? 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. But 2 of it wasn't very consistent. But we're getting back on
You started out really well.
I know.
Change.
And Michael's history goes back deep.
Deep to 93 when it comes to grappling in general, wrestling, and then 2004 for Jiu-Jitsu. Started under Dave Terrell, ended up, when all was said and done, under Megaton, the legend.
Nice.
Right, so I am just pulling this up, guys. So when you get the chance, ask your questions. I'm going to be getting that set now. To start us off, we'll keep it nice and easy. What do you guys think about paper straws?
Horrible.
Horrible. You got there, that's metal, huh?
I refuse. So what I usually do is I ask to get the cup with just the tip spout that you can drink out of instead of this one. But they gave me that, and then I was at home, so I grabbed the one metal straw that we have because I absolutely hate them. Yeah. They're perfectly fine giving a giant plastic cup, but
isn't that funny?
Paper straw.
Right.
All right, so I am just getting into the live chat there. Perfect. I have you guys on YouTube. We are rolling there. Let me pull up the Facebook, and then we'll start getting into topics today. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Oh, there it is. Maybe Facebook's not working. Let's restart it.
Facebook's like, nope.
It won't even let me click it. All right. So, Michael Musu,
Yes, sir.
Misa Mechi?
Michael Musumechi.
Or, yeah.
Musumechi.
Mikey Musumechi, Mrs.
Yes.
I can't say it ever.
Musumechi. He's got a sister too, right? He's got a sister also.
He does, yes. So he's looking at Jack.
They're both top cream of the crop black belts.
Doing Muay Thai now. Looking at a fight in 1FC. That should be extremely interesting. The way, Jack, you need to get out of there. There's too much setup over there. Come here.
Is it an MMA fight or Muay Thai?
I
Straight
believe,
Muay Thai?
I think he's going MMA, and so he's learning the standing art. Jack, get out of there. Come on.
He's so tempted.
Everything's set up, and he's wandering through the middle of everything. But the way that he's attacked Jiu-Jitsu, I don't think he can not be great at MMA. If he takes the same skill sets or ability to get good into Muay Thai and MMA, I just don't see how he could be bad.
I can't say much. I don't even know who the guy is. Never heard of him.
He devotes so much of his time to training that if you devote that much time to MMA training, he's gonna obviously be amazing.
Yeah, all right.
We'll see what he does with his hands, man, and we'll see what he does with his choice for how he's going to take the fights to the ground, too. Yeah. Because obviously he could try to just become a real good boxer or a real good kickboxer and not care where it goes and just be confident either way, or you could try to develop either a wrestling game or a willingness to pull guard, Ryan Hall style or something, right? But I think either one, to be honest, anything would work for him. He's that good. He could pull guard. He's one of those guys I think could go into MMA, pulling guard against pro fighters and win. So
it is interesting, right? When you have a background in one sport that's so advanced, and then you try to enter something with a wider rule set and techniques, do you double down on what you know, or do you? Because evolution of the UFC, we kind of saw that, right? We saw submission grappling take over, and then all of a sudden these wrestlers started stopping some of the takedowns and neutralizing, and then now you have strikers that are sprawling and brawling because the people who were trying to take it down couldn't really take it down effectively anymore, and then it was like the dawn of the strikers. And then nowadays it's you have to be well-rounded in everything.
100%.
Damian Maia's, those types of people are a thing of the past.
Specialists, right? Every now and then one pops up, right? Every now and then you get one pop up, but for the most part, yeah, man. I remember who was that young kid, Roy McDonald, when back when he was in like 2010 or whatever. I remember when he was like about to win it all, came so close. He was like one of the first generations that didn't grow up specializing.
Right, he was the first
MMA.
person that did MMA.
Right, that was a sport, right? And I remember being really impressed with that kid, Roy McDonald. He was like one of those, like, he should have got a UFC belt, man. I don't know if he ever snagged maybe an interim one or something, but I remember that war he had with Lawler, war he had with Condit.
That war with Robbie Lawler, I think, ruined his career.
It ruined his brain.
He was never the same after that one.
Robbie will do that to you, man. Robbie Lawler will ruin your brain.
An amazing fight, like one of the top fights in UFC history.
I agree.
But just brutal. Split lips, damage. Both of them are profusely bleeding from the face. The ref is in there seeing if they're like inhaling blood because they're breathing, in the droplets. And it was John Big John, right? That was the ref. And I saw a podcast with him, and he was saying that he was watching down Rory McDonald's mouth to see if he was inhaling the blood that was dripping down from his nose. Yeah. Wow. Because that creates all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
I have the chat going, guys, so make sure. Old School Karate Guy says hi. Awesome. This is what's cool about doing these live ones, guys. So looks like we got 6 people on Facebook and some on, thanks for the likes, 6 people on Facebook and a few on YouTube. So ask some questions. We'll answer your guys' questions. Until then, let's get into the Boyd principle. So 10 years and 20 pounds equals a belt. To try to offset. So where this came from is a black belt went into Henry Gracie, and he was having issues with a big athletic blue belt. And he was questioning, his jiu-jitsu at that point, because he had been a black belt for a while, but he was now getting on the back side of things, right? Getting a little bit older, he was smaller, not as quite as athletic. And Henry Gracie gave him, that little speech. At first thought, it makes me go, okay, good. Like,
it seems a little absurd, though.
It smooths my ego a little bit, because I'm a smaller guy. I'm like, I'm giving a belt to get. But then again, I'm like, well, do I want to rest on that type of excuse, or do I want to figure this game out? Because there are people that I know that are just a little bit bigger than me that have no problems with much bigger people.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely gonna. You're definitely gonna have an advantage, if you're bigger and you're younger. But how much of an advantage,
That's the question.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I feel like seems a little absurd to me. In my opinion,
you only have the advantage if all things are equal with the jiu-jitsu, because that's what jiu-jitsu does. Is it takes that back. So, I think it's silly. That whole Boyd principle thing. I do. I think it's real silly. I don't think it's that simple. He tried to make it too simple. And he was probably just being a good coach in the moment, right? He was trying to make his guy feel better, right? He's like 60-year-old black belt guy is trying to get smoked by a young athletic blue belt, or not even. Apparently, it wasn't even get smoked. Wasn't it just he couldn't submit?
He couldn't tap him.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, don't even feel bad about yourself. I can't tap a lot of people that you might think I should based on the belt difference, right? But I think Henry was just making his guy feel better, and it turned into something because Henry's got such a way with words. Yeah. But no, it's silly. It's not that simple.
When I see it, like I said, it makes me feel good about my ego. You're like, that's why I lost. But then you look down and it's like, I don't know if I should actually use that excuse, because that's going to hinder my progress.
Yeah, whether it's true, you're right that you should absolutely not use that excuse, because it is just it's not true. Like I said, like the way you describe it as making the ego feel better is true, which is proof that the coach was trying to make his student feel better.
Even if it was true, if I believe that, my game is gonna suffer because I'm not gonna try to overcome that boundary. I'm just gonna be.
I'm a little guy.
This is the way it is now.
But if it was true, truth is something to embrace, and that you should acknowledge it and talk about it, whether it hurts or not. That's not true. So that's why, straight up, like, I mean, truths that hurt should still be talked about and embraced and understood and stuff. But BS needs to get thrown away, right? It's not so easy to just do the math like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, man. Everybody's different. Like Megaton is Megaton still beats me, dude. He's like, we don't know. We don't know. He still beats me though, bro. So it's like, what does that make me? A white belt, I guess, according to the math. I don't know.
The egos in jiu-jitsu are a thing that, when they say leave your ego at the door, but we all have egos. We all have things that we got to work on. We all say things or we do things that, either help our ego, hurt our ego, but the ego is there. And having a decent ego can be a good thing, because if you're just like, oh, my game is trash, I'm not going to do anything.
You need it a little bit.
You need a little bit. There's never been a world champion that didn't have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah, of course.
You have to be one of those. Questions, guys. Give us some questions. Give us something to talk about. We got you guys on Facebook and YouTube. I'm seeing some comments saying hi and everything, but what have you guys been wondering about? What's going on? Any advice on getting out any advice on getting out of a ground scramble and back to your feet?
Wrestle ups, okay.
Wrestle up, stiff arms.
Scramble, yeah, stiff arms for sure. Getting out of a scramble, he said, and
back to your feet.
Neutralizing it. Yeah, man, you're working your tech stand up for sure.
Technical stand up is so amazing from so many different positions. If you haven't played with technical stand-ups from different positions, like bottom half, start playing those, because there's sometimes that you can dive under for like that deep half. Other times you want to scoot.
Right, neutralize like he's asking, get back up to. Yep.
And in order to do that, the technical stand-up teaches you exactly that. You have a frame on the back. And you have a post on the front that both of them are connected to the ground, so you have an awesome frame there to keep them from flattening you back out. And then you free up your hips and free up your legs.
Right.
That's
now in general, those scrambles is what you referred to,
scrambles,
right? Yep. Scrambles are like super important, and they're hard to drill. Yeah. You can't drill a scramble, right? Like I couldn't say today in class we're going to work scrambles, and then give them something to do, because the nature of the scramble is that it's
a scramble.
It's unpredictable. It's volatile. You might get kicked in the face.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Like so having those in your sparring is important to definitely learn how to neutralize, learn how to tie up to find a guard to stop the scramble, man. Because unless you're really good at them, some guys are really good at scrambles. But if you're not, you need to be able to neutralize for sure.
There are drills that you can do with the kids, kind of. You'll start them like one person's face is up here, the other one's here, and then you'll go, and then they'll have to like sit up.
There's a bunch of wrestling drills where you face like opposite directions or lay at your feet and stuff for sure.
And so both people are sitting up to create that scramble, or one person throws over a leg to try to come up.
Leg wrestling.
Leg wrestling, yeah. So those are little things that you can do, just to initiate those scrambles. Because most people aren't going to just, scramble to scramble. They're going to have a position that they're working for. So you're going to have to be intentional if you want to develop those scramble positions.
Yeah, for sure.
Good question, though.
And do try to like take the chaos out of it if you're not as good at them. If you're not as good at scrambling, which if you are or not, try to take the chaos out of it, right? By finding a guard or finding that stiff arm and tech stand. Keep it technical.
Even things like coming up with a leg. Right,
wrestle ups. Those are called wrestle ups. Wrestling up is huge. For sure.
Get your hips above theirs. Get your shoulders above theirs. Use gravity on your side. Start elevating them so that they are on a downhill path as you're coming up. If you're scrambling, typically, tell me if I'm wrong, Michael, the person that's above and applying leverage is going to win that scramble.
But and what's your goal? What equals a win for you?
Top.
Because staying on top. Yeah. If you keep your hips above theirs the whole time, you will stay on top. Yeah. For sure. But that could end up in like not a bad spot for the bottom guy, right? So he might find a guard underneath you, which could end up good for him. So, you know, whether it's good or bad for who goes to show. But yeah, if your goal is to stay on top, definitely keeping your hips above theirs.
And
for sure.
Like you're saying, the scramble doesn't always have to end up on a top position. If you're doing one of those technical stand-ups from, say, like a half guard, you can shoot that leg back in for guard or triangles and all kinds of stuff.
You absolutely can. Yeah, you can neutralize that or not, for sure.
So as you're backing out, you could always go re-engage as soon as there's the space available to, you know, fill that spot. Yeah. Good question. Keep them coming. That was good. What belt are you, old school karate guy? It says he had to tap to a blue belt, but I don't know what belt you are. But it really doesn't matter, especially if you're just training.
Right. I mean, I think it matters more like if you're on paper, if you're talking, right? You know, but in the big scheme of things, man, yeah, that's not going to be the last time you tap to a blue belt, probably. I'm sorry.
What's fun about rolling with Derek is he's strong as hell. He's like 155 pounds, but just jacked.
Giant.
And if he grabs your neck, he can just squeeze it off. Like, he's got me in some guillotines and stuff. It's just like, you know what? You got it. And he's a blue belt. But yeah, we were actually drilling these the other days. You know, coming up for that sweep where you're rolling back, you open up your knee from like the knee shield. And
the reverse
he was grabbing my head on some of
scissors.
those. Yeah, and it was like, holy crap! Like, it's just strong.
When you start to question that, that's your ego too. That's when your ego gets hurt. You know, and you question it. You know, so you just gotta let the ego go.
Yeah, that ego again.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll get tabbed by bigger white belts.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Bigger, right? There's your ego.
Yeah.
You get tapped by white belts.
Exactly.
Totally understands though. Like, did he say what belt he is?
I'm only a beginner in grappling, a brown belt, and Goju karate. I don't know if I said that right.
Oh, so he's a white belt getting tapped by blue belts?
Looks like it.
Oh, my friend, that's supposed to happen.
Yes, it is.
Grab a drink.
Yeah,
that's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
And you know what we're saying is like, you know, just because you're this happens a lot. So a person gets their new blue belt, and then they feel like they can't be tapped by the white belts anymore, or they shouldn't be, or they haven't earned that belt.
That's understandable, man.
I felt like that.
I'll tell a person not to worry about it. Like if that comes up, I will say, don't worry about it, man, blah, blah. But why is that not totally understandable? It is. That's the gym's measuring stick, bro. Like you basically got told by your professor that he thinks you're this big, and somebody else who apparently isn't yet got you. That totally makes sense. Yeah. There's no way that doesn't fully make sense. And again, like I would say, don't worry about it, bro. It happens, man. Yeah. You know, I would. But I'd also say, I get it. I feel you.
And then you got imposter syndrome going on because
you could develop something. Yeah. You could develop imposter syndrome, man. Yeah.
I made a post saying, this was funny, this one got so much attention, is every purple belt has a sidekick white belt.
Right.
It happens a lot.
It's funny to picture it.
Yeah.
But you usually don't have a blue belt sidekick for a purple belt. Or like a purple that doesn't have a blue belt sidekick. And it's funny how these things will stagger, so it'll go leg cramp. It'll go from like blue to brown or purple to black, but it's typically...
And this is something you've actually noticed? Like,
it's just...
I've never noticed
no,
that.
It's
like it's a funny skit, like the SNL skit.
It is a little skit, and that's why I'm bringing it up. It's a talking point.
I've never really noticed it, though. Yeah. Like, you think so you get like a white belt buddying up with the purples.
Yep.
A brown belt blooding up with a blue belt.
And I think where this comes from is
cute.
Like the purple belt will be trying things on the white belt, and then the white belt will be like, oh my god, that was awesome.
Right.
And then they'll like start showing them things, and then all of a sudden they're friends. Right. And then I also made a post saying nobody likes them, or blue belts feel like nobody likes them, because the white belts are always trying to get them as like their next thing, and the purple belts don't want the blue belt to catch them.
Right,
so
right.
It's like, they're like in that middle ground.
And they're the butt of all the jokes. They're gonna disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor blue belts,
I know, and then we like to take advantage of the white belts.
right?
But white belt's a fantastic belt because there's no expectation. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
expectations,
true.
but there's really no
No, very
expectation.
little. No, you're right,
Yeah,
bro.
you
very,
can show up.
very little. If you're
You can-
showing up, good job.
Show up, coach goes, do this, you go, yes sir, and just do it.
Yeah.
You don't have bad, or you
You
haven't,
probably have a ton of bad habits.
you don't have any like reinforced bad habits. I
Well,
guess I should say.
you might have a ton, but we're not mad at you for that yet.
Yeah, yeah.
You're still a white belt. We're not mad at you for it yet.
Says he doesn't mind tapping out. Yeah, don't like. I was actually just telling this in the kids class. Is we have a couple kids who are really good at getting like to katakatami, the head and arm, and squeezing and you know, it's like yeah, just
Try to pop
you know
the head
if you're
off.
yeah all the things and everything, but they'll get in positions and they won't want to tap, or they'll get into like a full on rear naked choke and they won't want to tap. It's like before you get hurt, tap, reset, slap, bump. Don't let it happen again. Just practice not letting it happen rather than, you know, having a sore neck for 3 or 4 days
Absolutely.
because you didn't tap, right? If you're off the mat for a few days because you didn't tap to something, you're losing valuable training time.
Kids have egos too.
Yeah. Did you guys see that more in kids classes than adult classes? Like the
It
refusing
depends
to
on the
tap?
kids. So some
Yeah,
kids
I do see it more in
Yeah,
kids
I feel like you would.
sometimes
in general.
an arm gets wrapped around a kid's neck and they're like, oh, tap, tap, tap when they
Right.
first start, right? And then other times it's just like,
Because the swings are so giant. The swings are so giant at that age. So yeah, you have the absolute cupcakes, right? That are just like, don't touch me, I'm scared, tap tap. And then you got the other ones that are like, kill me. I will die. I will die before, you know? You really do. And I remember having this one kid that was like that, and he even had like, his mom would encourage it. Oh, he's so tough. He's so tough.
Right.
And I'd be like, that ain't tough. That's dumb. That's dumb. There's a big difference between being tough and being dumb, right? So she would encourage it, but I had to yell at the kid in class once, because he's literally getting mataleoed, coughing and spitting, bro.
yeah.
And then like his body like is like, oh gosh, you know, I'm gonna
That's
kill you.
I have that.
And then he like escapes, and I was like, time out,
Yeah.
bro. Do not confuse your friend's love for you with you having good jujitsu. Don't confuse those two things.
Oh, man.
He let you live just now. That's not an escape. That's your friend not wanting to kill you. Gosh. And then mom's over there, he's so tough. Like, no, mom, nuh-uh.
That goes into another thing. Parents talking to their kids during the kids class. Yeah, don't let that happen, because what it starts out is like one person will say something, but then all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 parents talking.
Not
It's
in
like,
my gym, man.
no!
Not in my gym. Anybody who, if people were to log in and watch this, and were at my gym last week, they'd be like, "Oh shoot, is coach gonna tell him what he?" I snapped. I told the lady straight up, do not, right? Start giving me the cheering of the kid and like correcting the. It's like, stop it! I don't need your help.
Yeah.
You know, I don't put up with that at all.
Because you will get some parents that try to like coach.
They get 2 words out of my gym though before they learn really fast, like to shut up, because you're there to observe. Man, I don't even know their names too half the time. I never know their names. I feel bad
Thanks,
about
Mom.
that. I make
Thanks,
such
Dad.
good relationships with their kids. I love their kids, right? But and then I went into the lounge the other day, and I walked up and introduced myself to this lady, and she's like, "My kid's been training with you for 2 years." I'm so sorry. What's your name again? I literally don't look up. I never look up unless they say something chirp.
But you have a ton of kids too, so
Yeah.
that makes it a little more difficult. And you might have an aunt or something that
It's
comes
true.
in, or
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Different people bringing the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or picking them up,
Yeah.
right? It's just- sometimes it's a switch for divorced parents that one drops them off, the other one
Absolutely,
picks them
man.
up. Yeah.
I wish I had any of those excuses though. It was the mom that signed him up. She sits there and watches in the same spot.
No ego. I like it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
What's going on with the diet, Mr. Dillon?
Still doing it. I'm trying to be done cutting by the end of this year. Hopefully before Christmas. We're getting really close. I took some progress pictures and
Are you gonna try to get back up to 135 for the competition?
I don't know. It depends where I'm at.
Back up, you gonna put some weight on?
Well, the lowest division at Grappling Industries is 135.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'll compete at that
Yeah.
division no matter what weight I'm at. But Yeah, the plan is to reverse diet after I'm done cutting, which is to go back up. But it's a slow process, and we don't want to gain more than like a pound a week.
Yeah.
So, but the pictures are looking pretty insane. Like we're
Nice.
not there yet, but I'm gonna go get my body fat percentage measured probably mid-December and see from there.
With the goal being what now?
What body fat?
Body
do you
fat
want?
goal.
You know, I started off on this journey. It was 5%, just because that's what my coach told me I
That's
could
what
get
it was.
to.
Yep, 5.
You know, but I'm not tripping single digits is cool with me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's just a certain look that I'm trying to go for, and I'm trying to get rid of. You know.
What's the lowest you got?
I'm
Where are you at right now?
128.
Okay. And what would you guess your body fat is at? What does you feel like? 7?
Nah,
8,
nah,
10?
it's probably like, I would say like 12.
You feel
between
12?
to 15.
Defined abs
maybe?
are like 8%, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to see like
How light
I
would
got
you
like
be?
probably like 3, 4 abs coming in. You can see
Those
see
bottom
the
two
artists.
artists.
Yeah.
Those bottom
and
two.
that's where I have the most fat or loose skin. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
loose skin because I was 240. You know, there's probably definitely gonna be some. I mean, there is right now a little saggy skin, but I don't know how bad it's gonna be.
Right.
You
I
know,
wonder
but,
how light you'd have to be at to be 5%. You'd have to be like 120, 115.
I'm thinking 120, 115. Like no matter what I'm at, like I don't want to go below 115.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm gonna get my body fat measured, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's been a journey, dude. But seeing the pictures was like, damn, all right, I'm actually making some progress, because I've messed up so many times. Like I've attempted it. It's like I'll go good for like 2 months, and then I'll slip up.
Hey, join
and
the
then,
club, bro.
Dude, it just becomes a cycle. It'll be like I'm off the diet for 2 weeks, and then I'm
Join
like,
the
fuck it.
club.
Next thing you know, like I don't start back on the diet for like a month and a half, and I gained the 20 pounds back that I lost, and I just got to start over again. So
I feel you, bro. I struggle with that too, man. I'm worst.
this is the closest we are been, and I'm trying to get there by the end of this year.
Awesome. Your burpee challenge has been going great.
Yeah, dude. Some days, dude. Some days that's a man.
He's doing 100 days of how many burpees?
100 burpees for 100 days.
100 burpees every day?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And some days, dude, I'm like, why did I even attempt this? You know, because
It doesn't seem like much for a week, but like a month is a long time.
Burpees are terrible.
In addition to training and
going
other
to the gym
exercises
and being in a calorie deficit and
Yeah.
you know, working 10 to 12 hours a day.
Calorie deficit burpees.
It's rough.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, and I run 2 miles a day most days, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
Make sure you guys are liking, following, subscribing. I see you guys in here.
What, you run on the treadmill? Or?
no, I run on the street.
Oh, yeah.
I
Your
prefer
back
that.
can handle that? Oh, you lucky, bro. I try that.
My back's
back gets
fucked up,
jacked
dude.
bro.
It is fucked up.
It's like
And
that impact.
Some days it's worse, yeah. But I don't know. When I run, that's what I like to do.
I like running too. I really do. I used
Yeah.
to love running, bro. For like 4 years when I didn't train in between high school and starting jiu-jitsu, I just ran all the time. I lived in Hawaii. And I just ran like all the time. Bro.
Yeah, nice weather. You don't have to worry about the winter cold.
right?
Oh, it was awesome. Beautiful weather.
And for me, dude, like running kind of puts me in like a meditative state.
Oh, totally.
Like, because I just put headphones in and I just visualize like my goals and like who I want to be and who I'm becoming. And like next thing you know, dude, I'm running and I'm like, damn, dude, I'm a mile past my stop point. I didn't even know I was running.
Just kept going.
Yeah.
You get like a mantra going.
Yeah.
I used to always get a mantra. Usually it was a song, but sometimes it could be word,
Put
just
on
some
some Rocky
sentence.
shit.
And just repeat it, mantra in your head. Like,
Yeah. I'll play the whole song the whole time. 20 minutes.
One song, yeah.
One song.
But Rocky,
Well, that kind of keeps
Sometimes, yeah.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
that keeps you in a repetitive state too.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Keeps
especially if
energy
you
going.
have a beat that you're running to, it doesn't mess it up. Because sometimes you'll get a faster song on and then you won't even notice, but you
You're
pick
going
up the pace a little bit,
yeah.
and then you're breathing and you're like, oh
No,
man,
it's
I
true.
messed up.
I remember having songs that would slow my pace down, so I'd skip them. I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, I ain't going that slow. No.
Also, places that do like kickboxing and Muay Thai sparring have to watch the tempo of the.
So they keep the music.
Yes,
and-
exactly. Because if you go like super aggro,
Right.
things start ramping. It's
Can't
like, whoa,
playing, everybody starts throwing
Put on some
hands.
classical oldies.
Yeah.
Calm down, guys. Too
I
much.
get it.
Too
Some
much.
K-Love Christian music. Like, all right, everybody's happy.
You're on day 89.
Today is day 89.
Oh, I nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following.
Nice.
So I got 11 days. Yeah.
It's not too much.
To a hundo.
Have you
But,
noticed
honestly,
any difference from the?
Yeah.
How's day
I have.
89 compared to day 1?
It's a big difference. Like I'll show you after we're done, but I can show you like progress pictures. There, you like it's a huge difference. Way more defined. Like one thing though, my shoulders hurt.
What about
hella
like day to
bad.
day? Like when you wake up in the morning, do you feel better on day
No.
89 than when you woke up on day 1 or what?
Like physically, it's gotten easier.
Mentally,
Mentally,
everything,
it's-
emotionally, everything.
Yeah. But there's still the days where it's hard, but like it's hard to keep it consistent, which is like the hard part. But like physically, it's gotten easier. Like I do them way faster. I still don't do 100 straight through. But
Well, 90 days is kind of like a really important benchmark.
yeah.
That's 3 months. 90 days is huge, actually.
Yeah.
Tomorrow for you is 90, right? That's really huge because there's something powerful about that 90-day mark. 3 months complete, so to speak. There's been a lot of things in my life that I did and then buckled and stopped, fell off the wagon, so to speak, at the 90-day mark. It's like a real pivotal. Get past that and you're good, kind of a thing. So definitely get to that 100, man.
Weight
I
training
think
was
honestly,
always 2 months for me.
Really?
I'd get strong into weight training, and then like 2 months, I'd see
Fall
some
off the
gains,
wagon.
and then
how the diet would go, dude. I'd be good for I think 2 months, and then I'd fall off for another 2 months, and it's just repeat the cycle. But I think honestly, I'm gonna continue the burpees till January 1st. But right now we're
Sweet.
just going to the 100. 100 is the main goal.
they want to see your 100-day on here, so we'll have to make a video for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Willow says likes jump roping instead of running because running hurts knees.
Jump roping is
Yeah.
sweet. I love jump roping, man.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I used to do that instead of running because my back, her knees. She said, yeah, bad on your knees too, but my back, the impact. So jump roping is awesome. I like the elliptical too, but can't. Big difference. $2 jump rope versus $2,000 ellipticals. Go with the jump rope. Those are sick.
Tart, when you're teaching kickboxing stuff, especially for the time, everybody's body wants to like rest, and so fighting and doing kickboxing stuff isn't a resting art. You have to be in sport mode. I was giving this speech the other day. It's like you see taekwondo guys and they're bouncing, right? Not because they're trying to conserve energy, but because there is a 10-second match that's about to happen and they are in sport mode.
Right.
They've taken it off of ego and they are in sport mode. Right? So with Muay Thai, it's like a middle ground because it's a bit of a march and then the combinations and things come off of it. But there is a tempo that you're following.
Right.
Where the shorter the match, the more you can ramp that up into a sport mode, and so those taekwondo guys are like vibrating, vibrating across the mat. But what's very difficult is to get people from letting their heels hit the mat, because as soon as your heels hit the mat, you're anchored to the ground. Now to do anything like move forward, move backwards, those heels have to come up first. And so it's staying on your toes, and it doesn't have to be like tippy toes, but you got to stay on your toes to be able to bounce and spring and move.
That's my hardest problem right there. I go flat foot all the time.
Everyone wants to walk into it. Yeah,
Jump roping is great for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, boom, bouncy right on those.
exactly. So that's another thing. Where running might not because you're doing heel strides.
Right.
But jump rope, boom, boom,
For
boom,
sure.
boom, on your toes, building those calves. All right, guys. So that has been probably about 45 minutes of a live.
Did that really go by quick, man?
did, yeah.
45 minutes. So our second live, me and Dylan did a live last week. We brought Michael in for this one. I think we had quite a few people come in. Some questions got answered. Let us know if you like the live version. I will be posting a edited form of this onto the YouTube.
Questions are fun.
Questions are fun.
Questions are fun, man. You can think of some.
Yeah.
I love this.
As this
all
grows,
jazzed
we'll
up.
get more and more people coming
Yeah,
in and asking
it's
all different
fun.
things. Yeah.
Start
It's
rambling.
more spontaneous.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys
Keep thinking.
are subscribed
I like
and
it.
following so that you guys will catch the next one. We do these every Friday around noon. So be logged on, ready to go. Any content that you see, make sure that you guys like, follow, subscribe, share.
I have a burpee story, bro.
Sure, let's hear it.
Before you end it, he's just gonna end it.
Perfect. Let's
I'll
finish
end it
on
with,
that.
like a funny burpee story. My first day ever training at Dave Terrell School in 2004. Okay, it was me and this other guy's first day training also. Okay, I walked in there, signed up, went through brutal 2 hours of training, and at the end of it, like I honestly didn't feel like it was gonna ever end. Right, it was my first day, and I went outside and started hurling. Right, started puking outside, and when I went out there, the other dude, his first day, was leaning on the pole puking also. So me and I had this little moment where we were like laughing,
Buddies for life.
right? We just become best friends as we're puking, right? And Dave pokes his head out the door and says, "Who the told you guys you could take a break?" And I said, "Oh shit!" And we both jumped, bolted back in the gym, right? And I'm sitting there just like, rolling out, and hoping he doesn't say nothing else. And he goes, "Okay, anybody that thought they could take a break during class, just now get in the middle of the mat, right?" And I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Oh, no.
So, first day, bro. Me and dude's first day. I walk in there,
man.
up to the middle, he goes, 50 burpees, boys. And I was like, here we go. And I start firing him off, man, because I wrestled, right? And I'm used to getting scolded or whatever. But dude wasn't about to do a burpee. He was like, "I just puked." And I'm over there like, "What are you doing? Shut up." And I'm on like number 6, 7, right? Thinking, just shut up and burpee, bro.
He's gonna punish me.
Yeah, dude. And this dude's just like, "No, man, honestly, I cannot." And Dave goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And I'm just like 12, 13. and he's yelling at this dude, telling him, go to the ballet class down the street, bro. And dude left, hightailed it out of there. And I finished my fucking burpees, dude, and just shut up. And I was like, what did I get myself into? But yeah, 2 years later, I didn't leave for 2 years, bro.
That guy's a savage, though. That's cool.
All right, guys. That is the
great story,
conclusion. Thanks for joining us. Again, like, follow, subscribe, and share it.
That's hilarious.
50 burpees. That might